Hello again, and happy Saint Valentinus Day again. We'll resume more or less where we left off, and we left off um, in a crucial point in the plot, or maybe the plot hasn't really begun yet, depending on how you look at it, because we have a frame narrative. And what's delightful to the medieval audience, and I hope to the modern audience as well, is the way in which we have envelopes here. We have frames within frames, because we have the situation of Scipio falling asleep and dreaming of his ancestor, and Chaucer is reading about Scipio falling asleep and meeting his ancestor, and so Chaucer falls asleep and meets Scipio, who can now guide him around the universe. And so line 95, let's pick it up there. And in me sleep I mette as that Eli, who African richt in dezelfde rij, that Scipion him say before that tide was come, and stod richt at me beddes side. Okay, so Scipio himself appears, and Scipio leads him to a gate in a park, and over the gate is this legend. This is what he reads, line 127. Thorch me, through me, this is the gate speaking. Thorch me men gone into that blissful place of hartes hele and deadly woundes cure. Okay, of heart's health and deadly wounds cure. Okay, so this is the paradise of lovers. Maybe we could put it that way. Thorch me men gone into the well of grace. So you see, even Dr. Holmes here, that's the second time that I'm tempted to read in modern English, because it looks like the same word. In tall, unto the well of grace. There grena and lusty mai shall ever endure. This is the way to all good aventura. Be glad, thou reader. Be glad, you reader. So notice how intertextual this story is. So we have a text of Scipio's dream that's being read by Chaucer. And what makes this almost like an interactive video game here is it is interactive. We become kind of like Scipio or Chaucer dreaming, because we too are reading, and maybe we're getting drowsy too. I mean, definitely if Dr. Holmes is lecturing, we're just kind of nodding off, and maybe we'll have a dream too. So if you're lucky, while you're watching this talking head, maybe you'll drowse off and have a dream about Chaucer telling you all about the dream of Scipio. With your luck, though, it'll probably just turn out to be Dr. Holmes. This is line 135 or so. So this is continuing. Oh, I was talking about intertextuality. Yet we have yet another text, and that is the text of the sign itself over the park, over the gates to paradise. Thorch me men gone van spaka the other side, and the other side of the scene is this legend: unto the mortal strokes of the spear, of which disdain and danger is the guide. Okay. So one side is healing and the other side is dread. The two sides of love. I myself, I've never experienced love. I only read about it, like Chaucer. So I can't tell you. But they say, I mean, all of the books say that that love is both. Okay. I was afraid, says Chaucer, line 152. Fair de that niste whether me was bet to entra or leva. I'm not sure whether I should go through the gate with a scary legend like that. Till African mi guide, so Scipio Africanus comes to me and says, me henta and schof in the gatus weede. He pushes me through. I was hesitant, but he pushes me through. And said, it standeth written in the father, thine error. Though who tell it not to me, but dread they not to come into this place. So I can tell by looking at you that you're a little bit skittish, that you're afraid to go in. But don't worry, you should. For this writing, that is, again, he's referring to the writing on the over the gate. This writing is nis nothing meant be they. There's that double negative again. Nis is not nothing. It is in no way meant for you. Nay, be none but hey love's servant be. Okay, doesn't apply to you. It's only for love's servant. You are not in love. You are not serving a lady. You are not serving Lord Love right now. So it's not going to affect you. For thou of love hast lost the taste, Igesa. I can tell by looking at you that love has, you don't have a taste for love. Asek man hath of sveta and bitterness. So don't worry. This is only a danger for lovers. And then I won't look at too many of the details of the next couple of stanzas because we have a catalog of, and those are generally only delightful if you get into that sort of thing and if you read the whole thing. But we have a catalog of all the different kinds of trees. Remember the Knight's Tale? When something similar there's something that we said was the longest sentence in all of Chaucer's writing was a sentence about the different kinds of trees in the kingdom. And this is the same thing in the stanza that begins line 176. The builder oak and eke the hardy ashe, the pillar elm the covra unto carine, etc., etc. And then we get a similar catalog of all of the different kinds of brides that may have surprised you to see the transposition. You may have thought that Chaucer was dyslexic in line 190 when he talks about brides. But I think we mentioned the phenomenon of transposition, of metathesis it's called in language, when we switch around a word, and we saw the word axe, whereas today we would say ask, and it's the same thing with brides. On every bow, line 190, the brides heard e sing. And so it begins merely as a narrative. I'm walking through this park and I hear the birds, but then we stop again for another catalog and we see oh, well, actually, that hasn't happened yet. The next thing he sees after hearing the birds and seeing the birds is Cupid himself, line 211. Under a tray, beside a well, isai Cupida, ura lord. Okay. Cupid described as Lord. Okay. Traditional for the love poetry, for the poetry of courtly love. His was forja and fil. Okay, so there's his eros. And Will, his dochter. Well, Will was a guy's name in my day, but Will is his dochter. In the Canterbury Tales, we've seen that notion of will as an agent of lust. And then we see women dancing in front of the temple, and jealousy fanning the fires of the temple. And the temple is the temple of Venus. We'll see Venus, where Eros is, where Eros was the Greek name for Cupida. Wherever Cupida is, we will find Venus. By the Middle Ages, Venus was represented as the mother of Cupid. That's not true of early mythology, but it is by the 14th century. Line 260 is when we get to Venus. And in a privy corner in the sport fand I Venus und ihre Porter Richesse. Richesse, that is wealth, riches, is the porter of Venus. Now, what's a porter? We don't have porters anymore. Well, we have doormen. That would be the equivalent. The porter is the guy who lets you in or keeps you out if you're not important. So he's kind of like the security guard, the porter, and so as we said, this is a dream vision allegory, and so now we're seeing the allegory part of it. Okay, in dream interpretation in the Middle Ages, it was mostly allegorical. You would see an image, and then you would explain what that image is. If that sounds kind of archaic, and we don't believe in allegory anymore, if that's what you think, then take a look at some of the Freudian and Jungian interpretations of dreams, and you'll find that it's really not that much difference. You see this, oh well, that's an image of such and such. It means that you hate your mother or something like that. So we get a description of Venus in the next 20 lines or so, and then the other deities we see, the other pagan deities we see are Bacchus, the Roman name for Dionysius, the god of wine; Ceres, the Roman name for Demeter, the goddess of cereal. That's where we get the word cereal, the goddess of the grains. And we get a list of famous lovers. And then Chaucer sees a beautiful queen, but that in line 300, well, 302 or so. We'll have to wait till our next exciting episode. Don't you hate these cliffhangers? But alas, that's the way it goes. Even on Valentine's Day, there's a well, you know, love is all about teasing, right? So and sometimes that joy is fleeting. So that's what we learned in the beginning, and so you'll just have to take that. So until next time. Blessings upon you, and we'll see you in episode 3, in video 3. Until then, God bless you.